Hey everyone, and welcome to the Miraculous Fanfiction, A Glitch in the System, Chapter 23. Please leave a like if you enjoy, and maybe comment down below what you think will happen next. Goodbye. For now. She was the other girl? What the heck? Marinette's head was spinning. Her brain was exploding, her thoughts overflowing, and her vision was going funny. There was absolutely no way. How could he have fallen in love with her, not only once but twice? And as both of her identities? She was in a state of shock. Marinette was staring into space whilst Cat Noir was frantic. He didn't mean to cause so much stress and confusion. He was saddened. Did Marinette not feel the same way for him? Oh no, of course. She liked Adrian, and he seemed to forget that he wasn't de-transformed. Crap. Has he just revealed who he is? No, Marinette couldn't guess from that, right? Suddenly, Marinette snapped out of her haze. Cat, you should go for a bit, she mumbled as she bit her tongue. Her strange fear took over. She wanted to explain, but not now. Cat was taken aback. You don't like me? He said as his ears drooped. Cat wasn't surprised that Marinette liked Adrian, but not him. After all, he did always get on Ladybug's nerves. Maybe Marinette also found him annoying. It saddened him. Marinette's heart dropped. Cat, I just need some time to process, Marinette confessed nervously. Cat smiled weakly. Of course, I'll visit you again soon. Cat then left through Marinette's balcony. She'd failed to see his current pain. He hid it well with his weak smile, and Marinette was too focused on her own thoughts. Marinette was freaking out. She was unsure on what she should do next. Adrian loved both versions of her. He loved her as a whole. Marinette's heart soared into the sky. She desperately wanted to pull him into her embrace and kiss his sweet face. She wanted to snuggle with him and play with each other's hair whilst watching a Disney movie. Her eyes fluttered dreamily. Marinette? Tiki called, forcing Marinette out of her fantasy land. Yes, Tiki? She questioned. Tiki smiled at her holder. A panic of realization hit Marinette. As much as she wanted to confide in her kitten about everything, including her identity, she could not. Something was preventing her. Something scared her. And that something was Cat Blanc. A blurred image of a certain white cat appeared in her mind. He had been haunting Marinette, even in her sleep. She couldn't forget. She tried, but the trauma was too heavy for her. No! She shouted as she clawed at her head. Tears brimmed in her Marinette's glossy eyes. When would she escape him? As long as Cat Blanc was a possibility, how could she allow herself to relax, or to be with the one she loved? She had a duty as Paris's protector. She needed to uphold her promises. The day she became a hero, she had to give up so much freedom, and that now included her romantic life. A tear fell down her face as she tried to convince herself she could do it. Love was just a distraction, right? After all, Cat Blanc told her that their love had caused the destruction of the world. She couldn't allow that to happen ever again, no matter how much she longed for Adrian. Marinette decided to go to bed early as the stress was overwhelming her. Tiki flopped in the crook of her holder's neck. She loved Marinette very much and hoped that she would be okay. Marinette gripped her sheets tensely as she began to toss and turn within her sleep. Marinette was currently dreaming. She found herself standing on top of the Eiffel Tower, but she wasn't dressed as Ladybug. So how did she get up there? And why was she wearing such fancy clothes? She wore a blush pink skirt, a black button t-shirt, and had her hair down by her sides flowing freely. She stood up on the Eiffel's balcony, staring out into the midnight sky, allowing the breeze to swarm around her. "Ladybug?" a voice behind her had said. Startled, Marinette brushed against the balcony hastily as she turned around. No, I'm not Ladybug," she stammered as her nerves overtook her. Marinette could see a tall boy-looking figure lurking in the shadows. Why couldn't she see him? She felt uneasy all of a sudden. Surely this was a peaceful moment, right? The figure slowly paced itself towards the fidgeting girl. "Yes, Marinette, you are Ladybug." That voice. Now that she had a second chance to hear it, she realized that it sounded as though it belonged to Cat Noir. A wash of relief fell upon her. It was only Cat Noir. But wait! Him knowing who she was made no sense. "Cat Noir?" Marinette hesitantly questioned. The figure paced forwards again. "No, I'm no longer Cat Noir," he spoke. His tone sent chills down Marinette's spine as her free-flowing hair immediately bunched itself back into its usual pigtails. No, surely not. It couldn't be him. How was this possible? No! Marinette winced in fear. "Did you miss me, m'lady?" Cat Blanc snorted as he was finally free from the shadow looming over him. Marinette wanted to scream. She wanted to run, but she was paralyzed. She couldn't move. "It isn't fair to ignore me, Bugaboo," Cat Blanc sourly stated as he pouted. His eyes were a grey and emotionless blue, his once black suit engulfed by a piercing white. Tears fell down Marinette's cheek. How could this have happened? Cat Blanc was defeated. He shouldn't be here. So why? How? Cat Blanc noticed her tears. "What's the matter, Marinette? Don't you want to be together with me?" he said bitterly. Suddenly, Marinette could move again. She darted past Cat Blanc. She was terrified. Cat Blanc didn't like that. "Where do you think you're going, little lady? I wasn't done speaking." He was mad. He wanted her to hear him out, to listen, to stop avoiding him. Marinette's eyes were full of fear. Her worst nightmare was again standing before her. Cat Blanc pounced at Marinette, knocking her to the floor. Marinette's belongings flew out of her bag and scattered around. Cat Blanc was on top of Marinette. his grip on her wrists preventing her from jumping to safety.
"What do you want from me?"
She spat as she shook in terror. Cat Blanc's expression softened.
"I just want to talk, milady. Is that too much to ask?"
he said, sounding more calm than before. Marinette was hesitant. She was beyond scared right now, but it looked as though there might not be another option. She pondered within her thoughts. Should she hear him out? Maybe find out why he was akumatized? Was there more to the story?
"Okay," she paused. "I'll hear you out,"
she said coldly. Cat Blanc smiled and released his grip on her. He sat himself upright and pulled Marinette, sitting her across from him. She darted her bluebell eyes, trying to look anywhere but at him. Cat Blanc could sense her fear.
"Marinette, I don't wish to hurt you. Please, just listen,"
he said as a tear fell down his cheek. Marinette's lips parted. He was crying? She felt so much pity for him. She wanted to help him. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Be sure to listen out for the next one soon. Goodbye.